Hartlike goeiemiddag en welkom hier vanaf Brugstraat in die Paarl vir die kragmeting tussen die hoër jongensskool van die Paarl en dan een van die groot seuns en die ou seunskole daar uit die suidelike voorstede genaamd Bishops. Ons sien baie uit na die wedstryd. My naam is Hennie Warnich en saam met my vandag is 'n old boy van Bishops genaamd Hilton Houghton wat my gaan uithelp, nie net met die Engels nie, maar ook met die kommentaar as dit kom by Bishops wat tradisioneel sonder nommer speel, kan dit baie keer bietjie moeilik wees. So as ons 'n paar foute maak, verskoon ons tog. Jammer ook vir die laat uitsending, daar was 'n paar onverwagte beserings wat ons 'n bietjie teruggehou het. Ek kan dalk net vir julle 'n paar tellings deurgee. Vanoggend vroeg het die onder 14s die dou van die veld afgespeel en die telling daar 15-14 in die guns van Paarl Boys High was 'n baie tawwe wedstryd. Die onder 15 seëvier met 45-3, die onder 16s 67-3 en dan die tweede span het sopas afgereken met 'n Biskoppe en die telling daar 47-5. As dit 'n bietjie geraserig klink hierso, is omdat ons in die paviljoen tussen die skare sit, so verskoon dit, is om 'n bietjie die gees ook op te tel. Hilton, baie welkom hier in die Paarl. Dit is altyd vir ons lekker om Bishops hier te ontvang.
Baie dankie en 'n goeiemôre vir jou ook. Altyd goed in Paarl te wees. Last time I was here as a player, I wasn't so happy or confident. I'm just glad I'm sitting in the stands today. I believe just for facts, Bishops is running on now. Like you said, we're going to have to work it out without the numbers on. But the team has been led out by Jean Pinault, son of François Pinault, World Cup winning captain in 1995. I see Hennie there.
It's going to get noisy here, Hilton. We'll have to keep our ears open. As you can see on the field at the moment, the second team and all the supporters are lining up to get the teams on the field. I'm pretty much sure they're ready. Bishops captained by François Pinault's son, Hilton.
Yes, that's right, Jean Pinault. Got a good team, a good player, obviously in the mold of his father. A couple of other players that stand out to me. JP Smith, I'd like to have a look at him today. And obviously Lobella Scott at 12. Obviously, you know, the last time Bishops won on this ground was in 2010, and that was by 12 points to 10, a very tight game. Before that, I think we go back to the 90s. So it's been a long time. So it's going to be a long day for Bishops, but let's see if they can show some grit.
Ek wil ook daarom net vir al ons ondersteuners en oud-studente in die buitewêreld wat vir ons van ver af kyk vandag baie welkom sê. Ek dink veral aan manne soos Warnich Smit daar in Egipte. Ons het vir F.J. Eigelaar, 1995 kandidaat wat uit Epsom, Londen met 'n paar koue biere die wedstryd gaan besigtig. Meneer Renan Steenekamp daar in die Bloemfontein area en so self manne soos Leon Wasserval uit Vancouver, Canada wat vandag saam met ons kyk. En dan van die Bishops kant af Dr. Koos Jonker, wat weet, kyk daar uit Lauries Pas en soms uit Wes. Sy kleinseun het vandag hier vir die onder 14s uitgedraf. Koos Jonker is 'n groot Bishops man. Geniet die wedstryd saam met ons. Ons wag vir die spanne wat dan nou binnekort op die veld gaan verskyn. In Paarl Boys High se kant, Hilton, we have guys like Saman Murat, who played SA Schools last year. You know him well.
I think he's a fantastic player. I think he's one for the future. He's got Springbok written all over him.
Yes. Drafie manne nou op die veld. Dis Paarl Boys High gelei daar deur Saman Murat. Sy bynaam verneem ek van sy vriende is Moon. En dan ook Paarl Boys High, Hilton, wat vandag 25 wedstryde onoorwonne gegaan het. En dan daarmee kom 'n groot teken op die rug dat almal wil die eerste span wees wat daai rekord van hulle breek.
Yeah, Hennie, I don't know, you know, 25 games unbeaten can actually work against you at times, like you said. Puts a lot of pressure on you to maintain the high standards that Paarl has set over decades and decades. I mean, let me be honest, Paarl is a great rugby school, if not in the top 2-3 of the country, along with Grey. And I cannot believe the talent that comes out of the school. It's quite amazing.
Yeah, I spoke to Shawnee Rasmus, the coach of Paarl Boys High, just before the game. Dis 'n oomblik van stilte vir 'n Bishop seun wat afgesterf het na 'n lang siekbed met kanker.
Thank you very much. We wish his family.
Yeah, Hilton, I spoke to Gianni Lombaard, the coach of Paarl Boys, just before the game, and he said the pressure on the kids to maintain that record is immense, and it's very difficult for them. You can actually see it in their style of play that they're trying to protect the record rather than to play to their potential. And as you rightfully say, it could work against you.
I spoke to an old boy before the game from Paarl Boys. Oh, there goes the Bishop's guys singing. And he was saying, if you can hear me, Hennie, that one loss won't do them any good. It might free up this talented side. No one wants to lose, and let's hope it's not for your sake today. But Bishops has got nothing to lose.
Gianni Lombaard wanneer die wedstrijd begin. Bal wat teruggewen word.
Bishops in possession there. And a nice kick there from the fly off.
Bal word ingewag daar deur Gianni Lombaard. Ook Kurtley Beal, soos sy vriende hom noem.
Great tackle.
Netjies raak gevat daar. Ek dink dis daai voorhyman JP Smith. Bal nou uit daar deur Vissie in die middelveld. Dit is een van die Sarduin-tweelinge dink ek daar. Visser. Hy daar na nommer 12. Ek dink nommer 12 vandag is Gerdrey Ferreira. Sy pa was ook 'n oud Springbok. Christo Ferreira, dan weer Lombaard. Uit die slot Ewie Loupsher vasgevat daar in die middelveld. Weer Visser uit na Lombaard.
Eddie, I must interrupt you there. I've been quite impressed with the defence from Bishop so far, if they can hold this out for the length of the game.
Looking good. Ja, Lombaard, die loskakel daar van Paarl Boys High, wat vandag in sy 55ste wedstrijd speel. Sy derde jaar vir die eerste span. Netjies se hande daar in Kanan Jongosane. En as die vleuel, die eerste 3 in die hoekie daar deur die vleuel. Takir Abrahams. Hy is ook 'n man wat WP onder 16 gespeel het. Takir Abrahams, die wedstryd nou net 'n minuut en 30 sekondes oud. Die eerste 3 daar vir die linkervleuel. Hilton?
I think I spoke to earlier there, commentator's curse. He seemed to always have a man over, but the skill shown there, was it by the number 8, Kanya Nkusana? Absolutely terrific.
Kanya Nkusani, soos ek sê, sy vriende noem hom Kurtley Beal, oor sy agterspeler talente wat hy uitstal daar op 8ste man. Ek sien hy strek 'n bietjie sy hamstring daar, ek hoop hy's okay. Dit is dan die heel agter Gianni Lombaard wat aanlê. Ek hoor die manne skree hierso, get in the hole. Hy het hom effens gevy daar so regs verby. Die Gianni Lombaard, Hilton, interesting. This fullback of Paarl Boys, I believe, is holding the world record for 110-meter hurdles.
Yeah, I believe he missed a lot of rugby last year, so no one, he's not that well known because of his athletics commitments. It's good pressure from Bishops. Coming back to Gianni Lombaard, I do believe that he lost out on a lot of rugby last year, so it's exciting to see him back. I did ask somebody, and they said in Grand Coma he had the highest points at Grand Coma for any player. So a lot of talent there in Paarl Boys there, in Gianni Lombaard.
Ja, soos Gianni Erasmus ook gesê het vir my voor die wedstryd, dit was vir hom moeilik om die spelers voor te berei voor die seisoen as gevolg van al die somersporte en dat hierdie ouens ook ander talente het. Baie van hulle speel cricket, is besig met atletiek en dis meer. En as dit nou Bishops wat met 'n teenaanval begin, Hilton.
Yeah, let's see some running rugby now from Bishops. They're not a small side, any casting your art on the field. They're man for man. They're not that far off Paarl Boys. They've got to get stuck in and get the ball out wide.
Boys High se verdediging wat hou daar in die middelveld en dan is dit Biskoppe wat nou na die linkerkant toe breek. Maar Nekkies vasgevat daar deur Sardyn en die Paarl Boys High voorspelers wat nou bykom. Visser wat wag, maar en 'n vinnige tikstok op die gevat. Die skeieregter hou nie daarvan nie. Hy roep hulle terug en 'n strafskop in die guns van Paarl Boys High.
I see Kanya, your number 8, limping a bit there, so I hope he's all right.
Yeah, I saw it was just after that move, Hilton. He does not look 100%. There's also the winger just in front of us here, who's struggling also, it looks like, with a hamstring.
Paarl Boys is off to that great schoolboy tournament, Wilderklaver, so I'm sure your coach Sean Erasmus is going to hope these stars don't go down in these games now, leading up to Wilderklaver.
I also believe that they're playing with five guys on the injury list already, so they're already playing with 5 reserves. Luckily,
that's good for us, Hennie.
It's good. It's good for Bishops, definitely.
One of those boys that I did ask before the game, Manny Russ, who played, I believe, was at SS Schools, I think last year or Craven Week. Apparently he's got a shoulder injury. I'm glad he's not on the field for Bishop's sake.
Gianni Lombaard wat dan daai strafskop weer suksesvol is en die telling wat nou opskuif na 8-0 in die guns van Paarl Boys High en die tyd staan nou op net so oor die 5 minute.
From my experience, it's so intimidating playing at this field, but if Bishops can just hold on till half-time without too many tries against them, they'll have a lot more confidence going into the second half.
Bishops is JP Smith wat wegbreek daar. Skramskakel wat inwag en hy is Harry Macken en hy gee na McDonald.
Beautiful. Labella Scott, exactly that.
Yeah, Hilton Bishops, they're known for their running rugby. Eh?
Yeah, and you know what, Hennie, I see you've added a bit of width to your field. Yeah, we used to call it the post stamp in our day. I see you've added about 5 meters on. I wish that was the case in my day.
Paarl Boys High wat nou juist na die steelkant toe speel. Netjies raak gevat daar deur die vleuel Murray Bruce van Bishops.
That's JP Smith, I told you to keep an eye on him, and he's an aggressive player. Very good number 3.
The number 3, I believe he comes from Robertson.
All good things come from Robertson. Horses, wine, and now looks like a good tight head.
Yeah, he looks a big unit. Yes, Hilton, this field in my day, as you can see, we stole a bit of the athletics field, and Mr. Bartlett, our athletics coach, is obviously not too happy about that. But as we used to say, we like to keep it tight here at Brook Street. That's why we had the narrower field and not to give you speedy guys the width that you wanted. But yeah, we try to stick with the regulations, and we widen it in the winter and use some of the athletics field.
We were known in our side in 92 to run the ball quite wide, and I couldn't work out. I was always out in touch before I'd even got the ball to wing. It felt that small in my day. But talking about the past, some great sides to come out of both sides. A long history between the two schools. Great relationship off the field. And a great spirit the game's played in between these two schools, Hennie. It's fantastic to be here again. Goosebumps sitting here. And yeah, this is just a fantastic place to play rugby.
Yeah, now Hilton, there's a special bond between the boys' schools across the country, and two of the oldest. I mean, Bishops being at least, I think, 20 years older than Paarl Boys. Paarl Boys now with a free kick, and his visser Lombaard. And he's Visser again, going blind. He's a nippy little scrum of that guy.
Hennie, let me ask you something quickly while plays on. Boys High seem to be running the ball in the same fashion as Bishops. I mean, is this a new style of play moving forward for Boys High?
Strafskop daar vir Paarl Boys High. Ongeoorloofde spel op die middelkolletjie. Hilton, yeah, it's I think traditionally we played the in-your-face, more forward rugby compared to your expansive style. But I know from Sean Erasmus, he would like us to play a bit more expansive and get the backs into space. I mean, we've got some flyers at the back, so I think that's not like you guys in your heyday. I mean, it was something special to watch Bishops play when they got them going.
Yeah, let's keep it in the heyday there. I think makes me feel a bit old. But yes, you're quite right. In our day, you had the likes of Robbie Fleck, Herschel Gibbs, and the skills was fantastic to watch.
Boys High nou met 'n aanvallende lyn staan. Hulle gee dadelik weer vir die agterlyn. Die vleuel Takir Abrahams, Visser uit daarna. Netjies raak gevat.
I see that Kanye Kusan is finding a lot of space out on the left wing there. I'm not sure if it's a big pack that's able to let him roam, but that's where they get in the overlap.
Yeah, Hilton, I'm still worried about Kanye. He's limping a bit. He's definitely not at full fitness. And as you say, with Wilderklaver coming up, maybe they should look at replacing him.
Also a player for the future, Hennie. Kanye and Kusana. Fantastic player. Okay, so Bishop's just behind their 22. Tap and go. McDonald the fly out to Scott. Let's see them go now. Let that ball go. Nearly through the gap. If they can get quick ball there, they have it. I wouldn't have kicked that away. That was silly. Giving boys out possession. That wasn't clever.
Oh, they want to open it up now. Well done. Abrahams, binne toe. Nek is gestep daar. Deur die heel agter Gianni Lombaard. You can see true athlete. Nice step to the inside. And another try for Paarl Boys.
Somebody's gone down quite hard here on the left side. Is that Abrahams? Number 11. He looks all right. There, Hennie, I mean, their Bishops had a huge overlap. They did all the hard work, got a nice ball, recycle, and then kick it away. And you're giving it to a counter-attack that you don't want to give it to, and there's the result.
Hilton, you're very much involved with rugby and being an agent. I mean, you see a lot of schoolboy rugby these days?
I do. I'm very fortunate that we have a good scouting team, but there's nothing better than schoolboy rugby. I must be honest, I'd rather be sitting here than watching the Rebels against the Waratahs or another Australian derby or that. I support the South African sides, and then when I'm not, I'm out watching schoolboy rugby. Nothing beats a gees of schoolboy rugby, and that's why what School Sport are doing, streaming these games, is just fantastic. Absolutely brilliant initiative.
Ja, nee, Hilton, hotdog en 'n recoffie smaak net nie so lekker soos by skool rugby nie.
No, nothing beats schoolboy
daar van
rugby.
Bishops. Ongelukkig die man wat daar uittrap. Also nice to see they're getting the ladies involved as line judges and also as referees these days at schoolboy rugby. I see there's a Sarfu lady line judge.
Yeah, if you look at Newlands on a Saturday, don't underestimate the season ticket holders. There's a large majority of women that support rugby, and so may it continue. Remember, everyone has a mother, and they all watch boys growing up playing rugby.
Exactly. Lombaard. Daai loskakel van Paarl Boys High is iemand om dop te hou, soos ek sê, vandag in sy 55ste wedstryd. Ek hou baie van sy spel. Hy's 'n man wat lyk asof hy altyd baie tyd het. Visser, die skramskakel wat nou inwag, en hulle besluit om hom te hardloop. Salman Murad, kaptein, is 'n skoolspeler uit na Kanye Kusani. Hulle probeer die bal lewendig hou, maar hierdie JP Smith is 'n doring in die vlees van Paarl Boys High.
All right, Bishops need to take this wide now. Give the ball some width, please. There we go.
Paarl Boys High se voorspelers wat netjies bykom. Skramskakel is skoppie daaroor, maar Bishops doen baie goed om daai bal te herwin. En nou word hulle aan die oorkant van die veld, lyk my baie naby aan die kantlyn nou. Skramskakel uit en Bishops besluit om te skop.
Again, Hennie, same position, men on the outside.
Die twee manne moet nou regmaak. Daai vleuel is erg gevaarlik. Trap binne toe, trap buitentoe en daar duik hy oor. In dieselfde hoekie. Takir Abrahams of Taki, soos sy vriende hom noem. Hy het in die eerste minuut ook in daai hoekie 'n 3 gedruk. As you say, Hilton, Bishops don't keep possession.
I can't, I'm speechless. We've been in that position on the field. I mean, I think we were in exactly the same position. The viewers might not have been able to see it. Boys littered right across the touchline. Boys High only had 3 or 4 on the outside, kicking the ball away. I mean, it looks like we're playing the traditional Paarl Boys rugby, if I may say it, Hennie.
Exactly. I think they swapped the jerseys.
I think so. But you know, if I was Pienaar, if he's anything like his father, it's not going to be a victory for Bishops today, and I'm not saying that with still a half to go and a bit more. But if he can show some pride here in the blue jersey, pull the boys together. A couple of boys that looked a bit timid on attack, and use there's some big boys there. Drive it up, get the balls going, cycles, phases. But I think it's a nervous reaction. It looks like just kicking that ball away. I'm not sure. Maybe you disagree.
Gianni Lombaard wat aanlê vir die skop. En hierdie keer trek hy hom links verby. Die telling bly dan nou 20-0 in die guns van Paarl Boys High. Yes, Hilton, the modern game is all about possession. It's all about possession, and that's traditionally Bishop's strong point, is that they can keep possession and they can keep the ball alive. But today, so far, they're not doing that.
No, I must be honest, I'm disappointed. I hope they'll change their tactics. And like I said, I think the captain needs to get involved there and start asking the boys to hold on to the ball a bit more.
Boys hy nou in hulle kwartgebied, probeer hy bal netjies skoon vir die agterlyn uitgee, dan sit Lombaard. Daai man is altyd asof hy baie tyd het. Hy's vir my die klassieke loskakel, en hy wat dan nou spel verskuif tot die reg voor ons, basies 10 tree, 5 na 10 tree binne die Bishops helfte. Bishops wat nou die lyn staan gaan voer.
Yeah, Jason Hoffman needs to find his jumper now. They need something special to happen now. That's a good throw in. Let it go now. In the hands of Pienaar. Where's his support? I need a quick ball now. There we go. Coming from depth at pace. Hard tackle. Good defense from Boys High. Now you see those numbers I'm talking about there, Hennie, against Paarl Boys. Put it through the hands. Let it go through the hands.
Yeah, they haven't gained much territory.
Oh, and now we got a little chip kick. Ball's back in Boys High possession. Then Bishop's done well to get that ball back, and they need to reset it now. Yeah, he's on his own up against 3 Boys High. I don't know if he's got any support there. Is that Pienaar? Without these numbers on, I used to enjoy playing without numbers, but I must say I don't like commentating in this situation.
Yeah, it's Hilton. If you look at the Lions brand of rugby, I mean they like the running style, but I think forward momentum is much more important than just putting passes together. You must go forward.
And looking at that, I don't see anyone straightening the line. They need to straighten the line. Like you said, go forward with the ball and gain some yardage. They're just drifting the ball across field and waiting for a big thumping tackle from Boys High. I know I'm sounding very critical, but I feel for these guys. It's a lonely place to come play rugby, and you're up against it here. But sometimes you lose the game before you even gone on the field, and they need to pull themselves together and show some pride here in this blue jersey and see what they can claw back.
Yeah, but this might be, the game might open up, and we might be in for a good treat of nice running rugby.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. I mean, there are a lot of talented boys on display here today.
Terwyl ons wag, wil ek ook dan net van ons oud studente daar in die buitenland, Dion Estreise, old boy van 1982, wat kyk uit Detroit, Michigan, Pierre van Zyl, 1994, Abu Dhabi, Nico Kutsie, 'n groot gees onder die oud studente daar in die Weskus, oud boy van 1970, Leon Wasserval, Vancouver, Canada, Johan van der Spy, ook 1982, Queensland, Australië, Dieter Petsch, 1973 is in Berlyn. Ons het vir Johan Gilomee in 1980 wat kyk vanuit Singapore. Ernest Nel uit Pietersmaritzburg, hy's 'n 1977 model. En dan ou Gerard Prinsloo, ou vriend van my daar van 1990 uit Kuruman. Daar is die vleuel daar in Kusane wat die bal kry in die kwartgebied. Hy het hom ongelukkig verloor. Is dit vorentoe? Die skeieregter beslis tog wel so dat hulle daai bal verloor het in spel. Sean Erasmus het vir my gesê dis iets wat hom bekommer. Hilton spoke to Sean, the coach of Paarl Boys. He said something that he's worried about is that we can't seem to get 2 and 3 and 4 phases together. We sort of get stuck in the first phase. It's also maybe just early season jitters.
Yeah, it's a long season. Look, what I've heard about this team, it's obviously riddled with talent. It's a fantastic unit, but they seem to play for 5-6 minutes and then they go to sleep for 20. And then when they're ready to turn it on, they come back for 5 minutes. Yeah, maybe as the season goes on, especially a Volderklaar, a big tournament like that, a couple of good results under their belt. But like you said, that pressure that you carry being a Boys High first team, as they say in Afrikaans, is ongelooflik.
Bishops dan nou met 'n verdedigende skram. Hulle is binne hulle eie kwartgebied. Hulle sal graag hier wil wegkom. Nog nie baie tyd in Boys High se gebied spandeer nie. Die skram baie sterk skram daar van Boys High. Maar vryskop vir Bishops.
It looks like an early shove there, was that, from Boys High. Yeah, Bishops need to be clever now and find touch and build something. Like you said, we haven't spent much time in the Boys High half.
Ja, miskien net die weer. Hierso is geen wind om van te praat nie, so daar is nie regtig 'n voordeel om enige kant te speel nie.
Basics, Hennie. Do you see that? I just asked them to find touch. You can't make mistakes like that against a Boys High side like this. It's suicide.
Territory very much important. Then Murat in die middelveld. Moon, soos hulle hom roep hier van die paviljoen af, sy bynaam. Visser uit na Lombaard. Lombaard, nou Ferreira. Netjies getrap daar deur van Heerden. Van Heerden. Uitgeboender hier by die net voor die Bishops paviljoen. Ja, dis wat die manne van hou. Lekker harde rugby.
Yeah, it's moments like that where you put in a big tackle in front of your spectators that might lift this team. They need it. They certainly need it.
Yeah, in schoolboy rugby, a good tackle is worth brownie points as much as a good try.
I couldn't agree more.
Bietjie scruffy daar van Bishops. Uit en hulle wil hierdie bal hardloop, Hilton.
Yeah, they started. I think they got a bit of confidence out of that tackle, but you know, this is what I keep saying. There's some juice in this team. There's something in this side. They've just got to put 1 or 2 phases together. And like you said, get across the advantage line.
See, as I say, in my mind, that's a mistake. I mean, running rugby, you still need to play some territory, some sort of territory. I mean, now they turned over possession.
I couldn't agree more. In our day, we had Herschel Gibbs. He could kick the length of a field lay. I think he kicked as far as Lars Border did in Matric. And we'd ask him just to get us on the other side. I think you can only play risky rugby and start playing the Bishops brand when you're up. You know, this is still a game where you want to win and you want to put on a good display. But like you said, I've watched 5 basic errors made that have resulted in Boys High tries on most of those occasions. And Boys High have capitalised to their benefit.
Ja, Bishops nou in 'n baie slegte posisie as gevolg van hulle eie besluitneming. Boys High wat die bal hardloop, baie vinnig, netjies skoon gemaak daar na die buitekant toe. Dis heeltemal aan die oorkant van die veld. Boys High se voorspelers wat nou bykom, Visser wat wag. Murat wat oorval vir 'n spot maklike 3. En Hilton,
look at those skills.
Bishops being their own enemy there. I mean,
then look at those skills. I mean, those hands. And then, I mean, who's going to stop, what do you call him, Moon from that distance? I don't even think the Springbok loose trio would have had any luck there. He's a huge unit, and well done. That's a great try. Good running rugby from the base of the scrum, blind side, and look at the result.
Ja, vir almal wat inskakel van ver, ek kan vir julle 'n bietjie jaloers maak. Dis een van daai fantastiese herfsdae hier in die Paarl. Die hotdogs smaak ekstra lekker. Selfs die koffie.
The hot dogs are good out here. I don't know what it is about the Boyline, but the hot dogs and the coffee strong. That's a fantastic place to be. As you said, look at the mountains in the background. I know Bishops aren't thinking of Boerewors rolls and coffee now. They just got to think about scoring some tries or getting some territory. But just looking at that list you read out, it is quite amazing, this initiative of streaming rugby, schoolboy rugby. I'm very excited about it. You've got names there from Mozambique. You've got names there from, I saw there Canada, was it? Australia, Singapore. Oh, it's just amazing. So anybody out there watching, I hope you're enjoying this, missing the Cape, and enjoying this rugby regardless of the result so far.
En Bishops wat nou weer spel gaan begin daar van die middelkolletjie. Hulle moet probeer om aan Boys High se helfte te speel of te kom voordat hulle begin speel eerder. Sardijn wat netjies vorentoe dryf en Visser uit daar na Lombaard is dit uit na Ferreira, dan Nkusani wat daar op die veelposisie fantasties hardloop en nou vorentoe skop. Hy sit homself agterna.
Is he an 8th man or a wing? I'm actually, I don't know where he's on the wing. I mean, he's done all the hard graft, but look at his skills.
Yeah, he's slightly injured, Hilton, so I think he's going to pop up all over.
Well, I'm glad he's injured, because if that's how he plays when he's injured, we're very lucky today.
En dan 'n swakkerige skop daar van Bishops en Boys High wat nou die teenaanval begin. En dit is dan die flank wat netjies dummy pop aangee. Die nommer 7 flank Frankie Horn. Hy is ook 'n WP onder 16 speler. Baie lekker flank wat my vandag beïndruk.
Didn't his father, Francois Horn, played for Boland, wasn't it? I think his father, he comes from good pedigree, old Frankie Horn.
Ja, daai was 'n netjiese loopie van Frankie Horn, individuele 3 en jammer om het weer in te vryf Hilton, but that all started again from a poor kick. There was a poor kick from Bishops.
If I could, I'd like to get up and go across to the Bishops coaches right now and ask them. They must be tearing their hair out. I think it's. Can you see who's standing behind the poles? Is that? I can't see. Is that Mike Bailey? He also worked here in the old days with Boys High. I think I can see Mike. I'm not sure if that's Mike. My eyesight's not so good in my 40s, but Mike used to work at Boys High in the past, didn't he? So he knows this field. He knows how Boys High are going to play. He must be ripping his hair out.
Ja, op die oomblik nie baie positief wat gaan vir Bishops nie. Kom ons hoop hulle kan 'n bietjie balbesit in die hande kry. Netjies 'n inskop daar. Boys High wat inwag, maar ongelukkig daai bal aanslaan. Bishops wat nou probeer vasmaak, maar die Boys High voorspelers dryf.
All right, this is where Bishops has got to be clever. The captain needs to step. Oh, they tap and go.
Wrong decision, I think. They should have gone for the line, but they're running it. Let's hope it works out. Pina.
That's fortunate for them there. Yeah, might be sounding a bit conservative, but I'd like to put it into touch. They've got a very big lock. They've got a nice line out and see if they get a drive on. I really am not sounding like a Bishop's old boy, am I?
Ja, Hilton is asof hulle die bal probeer weghou van Boys High se pak af. En soos ons weet, as jy 'n span met 'n groot pak wil aanvat, moet jy hulle juis eers vooraanvat voordat jy kan slaan met jou krag agter.
It will give them immense confidence if they can get this line out and drive over for a try. Boys High, yeah, like you said, the heart of the Boys High team is centered around Moon Murat, and it's a big unit. And if Bishops can go right through the middle of that and get 6-7 points out of this, it'll be a good confidence boost for them before half time.
Bishops is known for their clever moves from line-out play. Let's see if they have something up their sleeve. Unfortunately, that ball goes to ground. They try to do the run around with JP Smith, the guy from Robertson. He's so far maybe the only Bishops guy that's really caught my eye. The tight head.
I've been impressed also with the lock, and I, like I said, I can't see from here without the numbers on right now, but I'll find out at halftime whether it is Alistair Jewson or Luke Fillion. But he's a big boy and he's taking his lineouts cleanly, and I mean there's another example of they really had it there, didn't they? They should have. Frustrating.
A nice break there from Ferreira. Now a kick downfield. Has that gone too far? A fantastic kick. The touch judge on the opposite side. Ene meneer Gili Bester. Is ook 'n groot old boy. Kom al jare aan saam met Boys High rugby.
Do you see any there? Their lineouts are good. They've got a nice lineout. But it's simple, basic errors like that. Not looking to where you're passing. He didn't have any idea where the man on the outside was. There's playing fancy rugby and there's playing silly rugby. And now penalty to Boys High, and where they're looking now, they're walking back 10 meters.
I must say I'm also impressed with the Boys High breakdown play. It's something that Sean pointed out that early in the season it's something that bothered him. We lost a lot of loose ball. And but I'm quite impressed today. They seem to be on the ball at breakdown, and also the big guys. I mean, they're getting down and over the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard this rumor, and everybody's saying this team goes to sleep, but I'm watching Salma Murat constantly talking to his players, cheering them up. It's quite easy to go to sleep when you're 34-0 up, but these boys are hungry today, literally. Maybe they should, when they got in a huddle, were they saying grace or were they praying?
Nice line-out play there, Visser. En dis die vleuel Abrahams, Takir Abrahams wat al 2-3 gedruk het. Visser nou weer uit na Lombaard. Lombaard wat self slaan. Is that a tackle?
JP Smith again. He seems to be man alone out there today.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a legal tackle, but anyway, he stopped the man.
It looked like no arms, didn't it?
Yeah, it looks like no arms. Boys hy wat steeds die bal het en 'n ene selfe JP Smith.
JP's putting his hand up today for Bishops, and he needs his teammates to get stuck around him. They're very quiet, very little talking going on there. One or two guys clapping their hands, but you can't do it on your own. Well done, JP. You've shown some great pride in the jersey.
Ja, Bishops wat nie ver veld wen nie, is op hulle eie 10 tree en Boys High wat nou hulle bes gaan gee om hierdie lynstaan bal af te vat. Maar soos jy sê, Hilton, Bishops was quite impressive in the line-out so far. I like that look of those locks.
They've got a fantastic line-out. I think it's worked very well for them. They've given the back line good ball to play from. He has the first sort of decent, slightly over the advantage line.
Yeah, very lateral at the moment. I think they're taking the newfound width of this field maybe too literally.
Yeah, there's no one straight in the line. There's no one running direct lines. I haven't seen the fullback into the line from at a different angle. They're lacking creativity at the back there. I'm not trying to be too critical of these guys, but the pack's up against it, up against a big pack, and they at the moment they're giving them good ball the back line, but they're not doing anything with it.
Lombaard netjies reggemaak daar en fantastiese plettervat daar deur Bishops in die middelveld. Maar die losverspelers is by Visser wat nou wag en Murat wat daai bal aan. Ja, mooi gedoen daar Murat. Hy's gevat in die lug, maar hy kry tog die bal uit. Dan nou Visser wat wag. Weer uit na Lombaard. Lombaard se skop afgestorm, maar nou opgeraap daar deur die vleuel. Hoogvat. Strafskop daar vir Boys High.
The Bishops boys are going to have to be a bit careful. I think that's about the 4th or 5th high tackle. I haven't seen if the ref has warned them yet, but the last thing they need now is a yellow card.
Yeah. Typical of these games. I mean, you try your best, maybe a bit over eager.
While they're setting up that line there, Hennie, I'd like to look at that under 14A score, because traditionally at Bishops we used to losing quite badly under 14, 15 and then clawing our way back up as we got older. But a tight score there. Maybe we can talk about it just now.
Very tight score, and I think Bishops led that game quite far into the second half. Boys High wat ongelooflik met daai bal wegkom, weet nie hoe dit gebeur het nie. Nietemin, ek dink Bishops het hom teruggewen. Bishops wat nou vir hom wag. Skramskakel. Mekken. Pinaar wat nou vir hom wag. Abrahams. Hy daarna Lombaard. Lombaard se gevaarlik hier in die agterkant. Ongelukkig die bal verloor en aangeslaan daar deur Bishops. Spel wat nou even los raak. Typical of these games, I think. I think Boys High may be too over eager, and Bishops struggling to get their hand on the ball.
Yeah, when they do, they're kicking it away. I'd like to see them just keep it together. They're 12 running straight, the 13 coming in a different angle. Maybe a switch or two, just something to try. They're just very predictable at the moment. And maybe this coaches will have a half-time chat to them.
Visser wat vinnig is tikkie vat. There's no baie onnodig.
Totally
Baie
unnecessary.
I think Hilton, I blame the ref a bit.
Yeah.
Some of these tackles.
No, it's been coming. I told you.
It's been coming,
Hennie. And I see, and I know I'm commentating for Bishops, but that was totally unnecessary. The whistle's gone. Then to stand up and push a player, he needs to get a yellow or at least get harshly spoken to him. And we don't need this now. It's a great game so far, good spirit. But I've been impressed how Murat's controlled his team. And I think Pienaar has to show some of his father's leadership here. Pull the boys together and get some discipline in that Bishop side.
Yeah, no need for this in schoolboy rugby. I mean, the guys should focus on playing. We had a headmaster here called Mr. Tom Engela in my day, Hilton, and he would think nothing of it to pull you off the field and give you 6 of the best.
Nothing. In my day, Basil Bay or Mr. Gardner, our headmaster, or Tim Hamilton-Smith, they would have pulled you off right at half time. No question about it. Boys, schoolboy rugby, it's still amateur. This is where it's got to be clean, and this is where sportsmanship should be at its best. For the rest of their lives, those who become professional, they can go on and play the big pro leagues. But right now, that was totally unnecessary from my point of view. And it's cost us maybe 3 points, the way this kid's kicking.
Lombaard, die hekkies atleet wat aanlê. Nie 'n maklike skop nie.
Oh, what a fantastic kick. I mean, just not far from the halfway line and it just striking the upright.
Lombaard wat daai bal inwag en nou 'n teenaanval gaan loods. Dis die flank daar in die mingel. Frankie Horn, Visser met 'n tikskop hier oor. Netjies gedoen daar deur Bishops. Ongelukkig het sy eie man vasgehardloop. Bishops forwards now joining. Mackin out to McDonald. McDonald to Goodwin. Via Mackin. Pienaar. En Bishops wat nou 'n bietjie spasie kry hier in die regterkant. Netjies verdedig daar deur Boys High. Vinnige bal nou vir Bishops.
Yeah, they've got to make something of this now. We're in our 4th, 5th phase. Someone's got to straighten the line. Ball being flung widely there to Pienaar, I think it was. No, he's man alone. There are a lot of boys, Bishop's boys out waiting for the ball. Looks like a lot of forwards for a start, and no one really at depth, but let's see what they can do with it. All right, let's come out. Not sure. I just don't understand the game plan anyway. I don't understand the structure of it. Well, let's see. What was this, about the 8th phase?
Very lateral again. Not gaining any field. Playing backwards at the moment. Boys High is a verdediger.
Boys are just fanning out on defence, aren't they, Hennie? And they're just waiting for Bishops. They're just throwing the ball side to side. And no one's going forward. Maybe they should put JP Smith in the centre.
Ja, hoë risiko rugby hier van Bishops en baie lateraal. Boys High wat nou afneem. Nkusani in die middelveld. Hy daar bygestaan. Lyk na Ferreira. Visser wat wag. Uit na Lombaard. Frankie Horn. Hy daar na Lombaard, die heel agter. Voorspelers wat nou bykom.
See how the Paarl Boys are lined up now. They seem to have something. They know what they're doing. You know, Moon running the dummy run, Boy taking the ball up. They have some structure to their play. You know, they're falling back quickly into position. They know what they want to do, and yeah, they're recycling it again. And they're just patient. They're patient at the moment. This is something I'm not seeing from the Bishop side.
Yeah,
nice
very,
gap there.
Very good hands there. Man is van sy voete af daar, meneer. Die skeieregter Visser wat baie goed doen. Visser wat op sy voete bly. Klein mannetjie, maar wat en Bishops wat nou afneem en met 'n teenaanval begin.
Spectators shouting from the stands, pass the ball, pass the ball.
Again, high risk, in your own.
Well, again, you know, but if they're not going to find touch, I'd rather than pass the ball. I want this fluff to find touch, set up the phases. You've seen our line out, and get a drive going.
Yeah, and also the difference. I mean, if you look at the number 10, Lombaard from Paarl Boys, Hilton, to me,
I've been impressed with him. I must be honest.
He's calm.
Yeah, and he's organising his line. That's half time. 34-0 half time. Paarl Boys Bishops. Hennie, over to you.
Dis dan halftyd hier vanuit die Paarl Brugstraat in hierdie kragmeting tussen Paarl Boys High en Bishops. Bietjie van 'n eensydige wedstryd op hierdie oomblik. Nie dat ek dink Bishops nie kan opstaan teen hierdie Paarl Boys High span nie. Ek dink net hulle het tot dusver nie die regte besluite geneem nie. Hulle spelpatroon is redelik onbekend op hierdie stadium, baie lateraal. Hulle volgens my moet hulle die bal 'n bietjie by die voorspelers hou en kyk of hulle Paarl Boys High se voorspelers bietjie kan strek voordat hulle probeer slaan agter. Maar nietemin, ek dink dit behoort 'n interessante tweede helfte te wees. Almal behoort die bal te bietjie lig te gee, al twee spanne. Paar manne wat my beïndruk sover in Paarl Boys High se kant, Murat of Moon, 'n colossal player in the middle of the scrum, Hilton.
Great leadership, Hennie. I've watched him closely this game. We know he's a big boy. We know he's got a big future. He's in SA schools, grade 11 boy. Definitely one that he can go all the way. But what's impressed me today is how he's kept the troops, his team together, constantly communicating, talking to Lombaard at 10. He's a fine leader. That's impressed me. And I have not seen the same on the Bishop side. Our captain's sitting a lot at the back. It looks like he's playing fullback. There's very little leadership going on in the Bishop side at the moment. But I have been impressed with Lombaard. Murat, sorry, I apologize.
Right, no, he's a humble boy. I spoke to him before the game. He's a fantastic boy. And as you can see the leadership skills. He keeps the guys together. The other guy that's impressed me in the Paarl Boys, obviously from the wingers, the flyers outside. I mean, they obviously impressed, but the quiet and Lombaard on number 10 for Paarl Boys, I'm heavily impressed. He's like a general. He makes decisions. He knows what he's going to do.
Look, the pack's doing all the work, Hennie, and you know when you got the Reese Beseder notes and I think it's Neertlinger tight head providing such good platform. Your locks, again like Murat, it frees up the Frankie Horns and then Kasanis. That's why I keep saying to you, is Kanya playing wing today? You know what I mean? He's all over the place.
Frankie Horn, nog iemand daar op nummer 7 flank. Hy het ook beïndruk, 'n man wat al WP onder 16 gespeel het. En dan on the Bishop side, I mean, I was heavily impressed with that JP Smith and the lock pairing. I'm also not too sure who's who, but
I
the
need
line
to
out.
find a Bishop's parent here and ask. I know it's quite embarrassing, but I would like to find out but both are playing well, and I think the centres are running across the field. I've heard a lot about Lubelo Scott. I haven't seen a lot today, but I mean it's not easy today for him. But the wings, I haven't seen the ball once get to the wings, so it's difficult to judge them. And then obviously the fullback, I haven't seen him join the line or come into the game one bit. But yes, I'm sounding critical, but again, I cannot understand the leadership of Bishops. If they are out here and the back line are struggling to get across the advantage line, then go and surprise Boys High and keep it in the pack a little bit, play a little bit to their strengths.
Exactly, and the irony is I think they stand up in the set pieces. The scrums and the lineouts, they don't stand back.
They haven't, you know, the thing is when you do come here as Bishops, let's be honest, we call it the Highway Blue. I was telling you beforehand, everyone's chatting away in the car and you get to the Toll Monument and you see the blood drain out of the boys' faces, knowing they have to come play here today, especially when you're under 14, under 15. Hence why I'm so impressed with that under 14 score. But there have been big hits in this game. I haven't seen Bishop stand back against Boys High, even a little bit of off-the-ball stuff. So it doesn't look like they're scared of their opposition. It just seems they lack structure.
Yeah, and as I say, the irony is they have the platforms, they have the set pieces, the scrums and the lineouts, excellent. But from there, I think from number 10, they seem planless, very lateral over the field, and you need to. I mean, they made silly mistakes when they kicked for touch.
I counted. I mean, boys, I can't be blamed for scoring off Bishop's mistakes. I don't see it as an excuse that Bishop's is making the mistakes, but rugby is all about capitalising on your opponent's mistakes. And all boys I've done today, when they've got a chance off Bishop's ball or a silly kick, they've capitalised and they've put it under the poles. And that's a sign of a great rugby team.
Hilton, let's talk a bit about the history between these two schools. I mean, Paarl Boys turning 150 in 2018, slightly younger than Bishops. Bishops, I think they're 169 years old now.
If it serves me right, I think we go back to about 1891, and a few years later, they used to play a game called Gog Ball, which was brought out by, I think it was Canon Ogilvy, and introduced. So rugby or football didn't exist in South Africa at that stage, and hence where the game came along with sacks. You'll have to ask Dobson, Paul Dobson. He's a fantastic historian on the game, and I used to listen to him as much as I can, so please, I might be ignorant with my history here. But once the game set off, that's hence how the green jersey came to be. Barry Heatley, Ox Heatley, captained the side and gave over the jersey. The only reason it was green because it was easy to dye. And then, so as you said, joined up Western Province, the Boys High. But Sachs Boys High, this has been going on for over, as you said, over 150 years. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's interesting. I looked in our yearbooks. I think we played our first game against you guys in the 1930s. You know what I find interesting, Hilton, is old Jan van Riebeek, he came here the odd 360 years ago. He that's where all the problems started in the country, apparently. But the oldest school in South Africa, I believe, is Sachs.
Yes.
And they are, I think, 189. Let's call it 180 years old. So my question is, what did they do for the other 170 years? Did they homeschool? There were no schools.
Well, as we know, they weren't playing rugby, and I'm just glad they did start playing rugby. And talking about the history, I know Bishops has got, if again someone watching this can correct me, I think 48 Springboks, the most recent being Francois Lowe. And the Dylan Lateses of the world playing for the Stormers, Ollie Kebbles, Nizam Kars, a boy called William Davies is up at the Sharks. So there's no shortage of individual talent. But I haven't seen a Bishop side since the 80s under Basil Bay come out and dominate a season. There are obviously reasons for that. I'm not in the school. But, the history between these two sides, I mean, is incredible. Incredible. So we weren't always on the 34-0.
No. I remember back in our day, let's just see, as Paarl Boys trying to attack now again in the midfield.
Yeah, brilliant offload by Salman Murat.
Ferreira. Now Murat back to Kusane. Unfortunately,
yeah,
that
he's
ball is
looking
lost
up
forward,
at his
according to me. Yeah, Hilton, Bishops are doing very well in hockey and cricket. I think we played hockey against you guys yesterday, and I'm still trying to find a team, a Bishops team that lost. I think your A team beat us 4-0 in the hockey yesterday. So, also doing very well in cricket. So yeah, obviously school is not all about rugby.
No, it's not, and thank you for the sympathy, Hennie, pointing out the good points. I'm a rugger man. I come from the 80s, early 90s Bishops. I'm a proud old boy. Love this blue jersey, so I want to see something in the second half.
Maybe just a little bit too pedestrian in the back line there. Bishops now waiting a bit too long, maybe. Boys High's defense is well organized.
If you're talking about history, here we go, out to the fly-off. You see again, where are you going? I don't know where they're off to.
It's lateral.
It's backwards, it's not lateral. I wish it was lateral.
Boys High wat hy bal afneem. Dit lyk na Frankie Horn. Hy het 'n woelige wedstryd. Visser, klein kantjie toe. Nkusane op die vleuel. En hy gaan onder die paal druk.
And there's my wing.
There's your wing.
Wing for the day.
Yeah, in
I see he's put some strapping onto that knee of his. I don't know if that's worked.
An injured 8th man is a wing.
Well, tell you what, Gianni Lombaard might have the world record for hurdles, but this Kusani's not a bad wing himself. No, I know he's not a wing. He's a fantastic talent, and if Sean's up by this many points, maybe he should take him off and rest him. But again, there we were driving forward, ball easily ripped away, and off they went. Talking about history, maybe that's something more interesting than the scoreline right now. Jack Hartley was the youngest player to ever have represented South Africa. He was at Bishop's. I was going through the history yesterday, and like you said, maybe the results from the last decade, 210 being the only side we've beaten you for a long, long time, isn't going our way. But Bishop's has an incredibly proud history, served Springbok rugby very well. It was Ox Heatley and one other gentleman that actually recommended the Springbok onto the jersey. So the history dates back. It's fantastic, like I said, to be out here. It's fantastic, and I keep using the word fantastic. Let me change that word. It's tremendous to see Boys High doing so well. You need a strong Boys High side, and you need a strong Boerland out here. I don't know what the Paarl Gym side like. I don't know if we should talk about Paarl Gym today.
Ja, Paarl Gymnasium wat speel teen Paul Roos aan die noorde kant van die Paarl vandag. Uit die aard van die saak, Paarl Boys High se aardsvyand daar aan die noorde kant. Ek het ongelukkig nog nie vir julle telling daar nie. Ek sal vir julle deurgee sodra ek kry. Bishops wat dan nou weer speel begin en Boys High wat netjies vasvat. Ek dink dit is weer Frankie Horn wat 'n woelige wedstryd het, daai nommer 7 flank van
Been very impressed by him, Hennie. And I tell you what, this little scrum half, he's a tiny little fellow, but he knows how to. He's a gritty boy. He gets stuck in, and he's got a nice kick from the base of the scrum.
Yeah, and he also gives Lombard a lot of time. He's got a nice pass. Bishops wat nou begin met 'n teenaanval.
You see, there was a 3-on-1, 4 against 2. Nice overlap situation. Just get that ball through the hands. Long spin passes doesn't make sense to me there. Or would I be fair enough to say he went to the moon and back?
Yeah, collision with the moon. Bishops wat nou weer hoë risiko rugby speel in hulle eie kwartgebied. Dit het nog nie vir hulle gewerk tot dusver nie en hulle hou aan met die strategie. Ek sou voorstel hulle moet die bal skop tot in Boys High se
gebied. Just lost the ball now, Eddie, I'm very confused there. Oh, here we go with the try. Is that Frankie Horn? No, it looks like one of your front row.
He's one of the front rowers. See if we can get a number. Like Reese Bezuidenhout.
Yeah, it looks like Reese, and it's a well-deserved try. He's had a solid game up front. He's stolen a few balls off the base, off the ruck. He's rucked also quite well. I'm impressed with this boy. Eddie, just coming back to there, you're saying that the strategy of Bishops, and I know I'm going on about it a little bit too much, but they're not kicking between their poles, their try line and the 15. When they've got out of the 15, they're kicking. I don't understand that. So what is, are you either running the ball or you're kicking the ball? One or two things. I think there's a confusion in their game plan.
Ja, en dan ook ek dink by die los is Boys High hulle definitief oor Nkusani, die los trio van Nkusani, Frankie Horn en Charles Abduin doen baie goeie werk op die grond en hulle het 'n hele paar balle reeds afgeneem by Bishops. Dis hoekom hierdie hoë risiko rugby op hierdie stadium nie vir Bishops werk nie. Dis jammer die telling wat nou aanskuif na 48 in die guns van Paarl Boys High teenoor die 0 van Bishops. Kom ons hoop dat hulle in hierdie laaste kwart van hierdie wedstryd 'n bietjie meer bal kan sien en vir ons van hulle champagne rugby kan uitdis wat ons weet Bishops so goed kan doen. Boys High wat daai bal lyk my verloor het van die afskop af. Strafskop vir Bishops. Myns insiens is die regte ding om nou te doen om te skop vir die kantlyn. Omdat hulle lynstaan so goed is en daarvan af miskien 'n bietjie voorspelerspel te probeer loods voordat hulle agterslaan.
Yeah, he's found touch now. He hasn't got much distance on that, but at least he's found touch. That's a good start. And now, like you said, they've got the fantastic lock pairing. Big boys, Hennie. Look at that. I mean, we on television, they might not get the same out there. We're sitting live here, and man for man, I mean, okay, Moon stands a bit above all of them, but they're not far off. I think that's, well, they're gathering the ball back there.
Weer eens Bishops vir daai lyn staan wen. En nou agtertoe probeer hulle slaan. Netjies 'n buitegaping daar.
I've been asking for it all game. Brandon van der Westhuizen joining the line. Ball getting from hand to hand. Nothing fancy. Over the line in the corner. Well done, Bishops. Been waiting for a long time for that, Hennie.
But that was Hilton structured. They didn't take a quick tap.
Basic rugby.
Got the line out, and then they did something with the backs.
Basic rugby, and that's why I've been frustrated all game. I'm not saying they can come here and beat these guys. Paarl Boys is a fantastic side, but you want to see put up a fight, man. And like you said, there's the fathers saying run, Bishops run, and so right he is.
Nie seker wie die skop gaan waarneem nie. Ongelukkig links verby, die telling nou 48 Paarl Boys High teenoor die 5 van Bishops, maar a very nice try there, Hilton. Well worked, well planned, well executed.
Yeah, Eddie, I just think, like you said, they just did the basics. They got over the vantage line. Fullback joined the line for the first time this game, and the first time he did, he found some space and he scored. He had to finish it, and he did very well finishing.
Lombaard wat spel begin dan en dan Bishops wat onmiddellik weer probeer aanval. En die bal probeer hardloop uit hulle kwartgebied. Weer hoë risiko rugby. Myns insiens nie die regte besluit nie. Kom ons kyk hoe werk dit uit. Strafskop vir Paarl Boys High. Weer eens 'n fout van Bishops wat niks minder as punte gaan beteken.
I think at this stage when you're 48 5 behind, we all want to play Bishops rugby. I was a first team player. I know how to play Bishops rugby. But you've just gone and given yourself some confidence. If I was the fluff there, put it out on the halfway line. Give your forwards a chance to breathe. Those forwards are getting very tired trying to keep up with this game at the moment. You can't expect JP Smith to hit rucks, scrum, line-outs, and then go and put 50 passes together in between phases. Give those forwards a breather as well.
Yeah, I must say, I did see a lot less of JP Smith thus far, and it's as you rightfully say, running out of steam. Let's see if Gianni Lombaard can add the 3 points and put 51 points on the board.
That's a half century.
Yeah, and I think Hilton, the irony is if you subtract the points that Bishops handed to Paarl Boys on a plate, there could have been a lot more in this game.
I think at the moment, if they'd played to their strengths, it could be a 20-point game instead of a 50-point game at this stage, and made Paarl Boys just work for their victory. But don't take away from Paarl Boys, Hennie. I'm loving the structure. There's some great. I mean, the scrum off. Look at that hanging ball. Look at that. I mean, that's a fantastic kick for a schoolboy rugby player.
Ja, dis wat My beïndruk is dat Boys High verloor nie hulle struktuur nie. Hulle speel nog steeds die spel patroon wat hulle op besluit het. Netjies 'n hardloopie daar deur 'n Bishopsman, maar hy word plat getrek deur 'n Kusani.
But I mean, at least we're going forward now. There's some confidence in these boys.
Boys High se verdediging wat nou getoets word.
They need to get this ball wide now. There's some space on the outside. Let's make into McDonald. Oh,
Into the moon.
into the moon. He's he's a big lad. That I would have stayed away from him in my day.
It's JP Smith.
Boys are offsides there. First mistake I've seen JP Smith make today. You see he's playing fluff now, like I requested. What do you think of the new Springbok appointment, Hennie? Words?
Oh well, let's be honest. He should have been appointed years ago. I mean, that's so. I guess it's the right appointment. I think, but the wrong timing. I think he should have taken over from Jake White, if anything. But let's support him. He's a province boykie.
He's a good man as well.
He's a good man.
He's a very good gentleman, and I hope they do support him. Tough job. But I've always said you shouldn't coach an international side under 50. It's often your last job, so make it work.
Yeah, no, I will give him a chance, and let's see.
I'd like to see Bishop's middle of the field. No right shoulder. They're just trying to keep the ball. That's something fancy at the back there. Let's see if they get across the advantage line.
I see.
JP Smith turning in a bit of Curtly Bill himself there. Nice little tap through. Totally unnecessary because he's given Boys High the ball. Yeah, right. This Lombaard controls the game very nicely.
You see, just now Hilton Bishop's got a penalty and they decided to have a scrum. They got a penalty again and then they took a quick tap.
I know. That's why I'm talking about leadership. Someone needs to be controlling this game on the field. I'm not sure if this is the plan. I'm a bit dumbstruck. But the captain needs to let his team know what he wants. Right there again, what worked last time was the line out. Played off it. Why didn't they put it in the hook? Get up to double digits and make Boys High, try and win the last 20 minutes or 30 minutes of this game. It just doesn't make sense to me what they're doing right now, and it's upsetting because I've seen some flashes of brilliance in their side. But old JP Smith, either slow warrior or horse, he's been involved in everything.
I think old JP got a knock in the family jewels.
Yeah, he's struggling.
He's okay.
But he's keen to play. He wants to get
involved.
Play,
yeah.
I've been very impressed with him, I must say.
You can see he enjoys himself as well.
He loves his rugby. He's everywhere, and he's a hard player. I've been very, very impressed with him. I'm sure he's got a bright future.
Ek dink is voordeel vir Bishops op die oomblik. Hulle het die bal teruggewen.
Making the scrum off, doing exactly what we've been saying all day. Don't tap and go. He tap and goes and he scores, and maybe he heard what we were saying and he just wants to keep us quiet.
Yeah.
I think it's making, or it might be the wing. I'm not sure. Please forgive me. I can't see the numbers and I don't know these boys personally. But it looked like the scrum off.
Funny enough, 9 out of 10 referees would have called you back because he didn't give the mark. He allowed it, but I mean that's what
you take your chances.
You take your chances.
And I think the noise of the Bishop spectators right behind the referee, and at this scoreline, he's going to take it.
Yeah, and it gives the spectator something to shout about. It's great.
Yeah. But there again, Boys High behind the poles. Captain's got them all together. I'm sure for pride reasons they want to keep going. I'd like to see that from Boys High, I must say. They mustn't just say they've got a nice lead now and go to sleep.
Ja, Macken wat sy eie 3 daar die 2 punte byvoeg. Opportunistiese spel daar van Macken en wat Boys High 'n bietjie in die slaap gevang het en 'n 3 gedruk het en dan nou self ook die 2 punte byvoeg. Bishops wat nou 12 punte op die bord gesit het met baie goeie spel.
I'm a lot more relaxed now. I didn't like the note on the screen there.
Lombaard wat weer spel begin en Bishops wat weer eens besluit om te hardloop vanuit diep in hulle kwadgebied. Baie netjies. Wow, Lombaard wat daai man pletter vat. Dis nou Pinaar in die binneveld. Bishops wat nou lyk asof hulle wil begin hardloop en Boys High se verdediging bietjie toets. Weer eens 'n strafskop reg voor die pale.
And you know what, Hennie? And I'm not going back on what I was saying. They did run from a dangerous position there, but they ran with conviction. They kept their passes small, not these long fancy spin passes. The fullback joined the line, and if you're going to play champagne rugby, then play it properly. And now they're doing exactly what we've asked them all game. Put it into touch and go for it. Drive over now. Put it at Boys High now. Put them under pressure and end well. But I think Brandon, the fullback, went down. Bit of a connection there on the halfway line, but he looks like he's run that off. I've been impressed whenever he's joined the line. I don't know if you have.
Baie. Ja, Bishops het in die laaste 10 minute lyk baie goed. Lyn staan wat sover vir hulle goed gewerk het. Baie goed raak gevat agter.
They're asking questions, aren't they, Hennie? For the first time.
For sure. Now they should just keep their calm. I think that's held up.
No TMO, yeah. Well, we are, yeah, but they can't use us. But again, Hennie, you come out to watch this type of rugby. This is what schools rugby is all about. I mean, their Bishops ran from under their poles. Suddenly they took a kick to touch. Let's go back and ask if they'd done that the whole first half. It might not be a different result, but it certainly would have been a better match.
In the last 5 to 10 minutes, Bishop just look a completely different side. And maybe Boys High fell asleep a bit. Maybe.
Well, this might be what the colleague was saying before the game, that they do go to sleep. Maybe Moon will wake up and run through the whole pack.
Let's hope it's a full moon.
That's a full moon. He is a giant, isn't he? He's a unit of note.
Big unit, yeah.
Walking around this ground before the game, I saw a couple of boys that looked like they'd left school, and they said, "Hello, Oom." I said, "How old are you?" He said, "No, we're under 14. I don't know what you feed them on out here.
Bishops wat daai bal 'n bietjie morsig is. Probeer hom nou terugwen. Boys High se verdediging wat gesprei is. Macken. Braaf een van sy voorry manne gee. Moon is op sy rug. Bishops wat
you
nou
see at the pace at which they're getting into. That was unlucky, a poor pass.
Bishops wat hom tog wel terugwen. Nou een van daai slotte wat hier in die middelveld.
That's the lock I've been referring to, Hennie. I've been impressed with him. He's played hard today.
Boys High se verdediging wat nou moet hou.
They're organised. They seem to be in the right structures, the right format.
See, in my opinion now, Hilton, it's now the time for Bishops to be flashy.
They can afford to be flashy now, but the thing is also, they look at the back line, they're lining deep, they're coming from depth, and they're not flat like they were in the first half, and wondering where the ball's going to go. They're playing now with some, it looks like they've got a little bit of a game plan on now.
They also use the forwards a bit now, I see.
They're using the forwards properly. But I'd like to see this fullback, Brandon, come into the line. Brandon van der West has impressed me. He's a nice sized boy. He runs quick. He's got nice hands. I don't know where. Twice he's come to the line and twice something's happened.
Hilton, will he be English van der Westhuizen?
No, listen, and let's go back to the 80s when Bishops was strong under Basil Bay. There were the Costas and a lot of Afrikaans boys. Right. A lot of Afrikaans boys at Bishops. Dit sou kom ek 'n bietjie tweetalig. En miskien moet ons meer Afrikaans boys daar in Bishops sit. Baie van die Karoo af.
Min Engels.
You see, now boys' eyes, it's a penalty, but he looks like he's hurt himself.
That doesn't look good. No, that doesn't look good at all. I think that's a dislocated knee.
Yeah, he's in a lot of pain, Paul. And
no, Hilton, that doesn't look good at all. I think that's a dislocated knee, if you ask me. As he stepped, I think he lost the knee.
One of the worst injuries this year, both at Super Rugby and last year. You read about, you speak to the players. I think it was even Pollard up at the Bulls and a couple of more boys, all on the practice field or not even in contact, and just taking a step, putting the foot down wrong, and tearing some cruciate ligaments, kneecaps. They're looking for some the stretcher. It doesn't look good. We hope he's all right.
Yeah, we're quite lucky. The medical facilities at Paarl Boys is very good, headed by Dr. Kobus Ace, who's an orthopedic surgeon.
Oh, so I do know Dr. Ace.
He'll be in good hands. Play carries on. New scrum half on. So it must be Visser that got injured there. Kobus Ace wat nou daar nader staan. It's a pity because that Visser really impressed, as you say, the little scrum half of Paarl Boys.
Is it Visser that's down? Because I see at the back there. Is that not little Visser there? Sorry, I shouldn't call him little Visser.
No.
Is he a new boy?
He's a new guy.
Okay. No, I was very impressed with that boy that went down. Shame, he looks like a lot of pain.
Waiting. He ran straight into the moon without the ball.
Without the ball, which is even worse. I think his ribs would be asking him, why did I do that? So that was a collision. That's a
suicide non-pass.
Yeah. I wouldn't have been happy with my scrum off. But again, I keep coming back to it. I put it right where they started. I'd have put it into touch, gained 30 meters. I must say, comparing, and I don't like to do it, but comparing the two tens, I have not been impressed with the way that the Bishop's 10 has controlled the game as far as comparing them to Lombaard. I think from the pivot position, Paarl Boys 10 has kept them on the front foot. And I think if the Bishop's 10 had done the same thing, it might be different. An aimless kicks today, not finding touch. And at 10, you've got to control the game.
Also taking nothing away from Visser, the guy who got injured now. I mean, he was also very impressive, the little scrum half. He gives options to Lombaard. I think the number 9 of Bishops, he got a bit involved in off the ball things, and I think he scored that opportunistic try just now, which is great. But maybe also his service to McDonald at 10 is not what it could be. Sardine.
And again, basics. Not keeping your eye on the ball, not watching the ball into your hands. And you find yourself now scrumming down to the boys' high pack under your pulse, which was totally unnecessary. I just think they really made it easy for Paarl Boys today.
No, for sure.
Taking nothing away from boys' high. Sorry,
no,
they capitalised on it.
They did. One day if Bishops will be running this ball again. If ever there was a attacking position or attacking opportunity in a defensive position, this is the one for Bishops. They can attack either side.
Nice
and as they've done all day, they've attacked from deep. So let's see.
I'd like to explore the right-hand side, little right shoulder. The scrums have been holding up. I mean, look at that. Up in there now, but they haven't been shoved too far off the ball. Again, a drop pass. Ball's back in Boys High position. Oh, there's a penalty there. Quick tap and go from Macon. Trying to find his support. And he gets mooned. Another aimless kick right down the
Now
throat.
they kick, which is, as you say, pretty weird.
And always between the 22 and the halfway line. I mean, that's where you'd think they would attack, and they're on the front ball. Now they've just given it back to Boys High, and there goes Frankie Horn. Very impressive with that. Impressed with Frankie Horn. And now we're defending.
Lombaard. He's got options and time, always. Frankie Horn. Lombaard. Dit is die plaasvervanger skrimskakel.
The Bishops are looking out on their feet now. They're going to
Vinnige
battle
tikkie daar
defenders.
deur Boys High. Is dit die regte opsie? Kan hulle hom terugwen? Skramskakel wat nou wag. Hy gaan self. Frankie Horn. Frankie Horn.
I saw the white in the Bishop's boys' eyes. Moon ran Solomon ran a tummy run. Everyone looked up and saw this monster running towards him, and they flicked it inside to Horn, who canted over for a try. Well done. The Bishop's boys are starting to drop now, coupled behind the line, looking rather out for wear. The game, to run the ball like we were saying earlier, and to play this expansive game, you've got to be fit for a start. And when you're up against a big side like this, you've got to maybe time it and be a bit clever to when you're going to play that expansive game. When it's on, it's on. When it's not, it's not. And I think that decision-making has let them down a bit today, Hennie.
Still an enjoyable game to watch.
Very enjoyable.
There's some of the players that's highly impressive. There's Frankie Horn being one of them.
I saw him play at under 16, and I think this when he was under 16, he's under 16 side, and he impressed me then. From under 14 up, he's impressed me, and he's consistent. He's always consistent. He doesn't play one good game, one bad game. He's a consistent player there.
He's a tight-head flanker that plays like a loose-head flanker. I mean, he's all over the park, and he gains field.
All right, Bishops on the front foot. Let's see if they can bring something now. Bit nice to bounce back with a try. The ball's there for Macon. Don't know what he's waiting for. He wants his foot prop to drive the ball up. Not bad. He's quite close. They need to set this up again. Man alone there, one Bishop's boy against three Paarl boys. Done well to keep that ball. Macon, he seems to be on his own there, Hennie. Now they've taken the ball off him. Slow it down, put it into touch. Is that the loose head who's going to kick for touch?
I think they're going to take a quick tap or something, and that's why not take the line out. I don't understand
it.
Yeah, now you're going. It's a slow ball. Macon waiting for it. Now
There we
they
go.
lose it. It's
And it's 15 yards back.
they lost 30 meters by doing nothing. That's the end of the game. Paarl Boys wat hierdie wedstryd dan wen 58 teenoor Bishop se 12. Hilton, do you have if you have to choose a man of the match in both sides, who would it be?
Look, straight away for Bishops, it was a toss-up between the fullback and JP Smith. I thought those were the only two who impressed me, and then the lock from Bishops, but I'd go with JP Smith. He was my man of the match for Bishops. On the Paarl Boys side, I've been really impressed with Moon, as they say. Solomon Marat, his leadership, he's just absolutely brilliant. But Frankie Horn close on his heels.
Ja, ek sal moet gaan vir in Paarl Boys High se kant. Miskien omdat ek self 'n loswisspeler was in my dag, sal ek gaan vir Frankie Horn met Moon baie naby op sy hakke vir sy leadership skills en ook hy het ook baie soos 'n loswisspeler gespeel vandag. Hy was oral. Hy was Colossus as kaptein, het hy die manne bymekaar gehou. En dan in die Bishops kant definitief die man daar van Robertson, JP Smith, hulle vaskop voor hy man. Dis lekker om so ou te sien wat sy rugby geniet. Hy hardloop met 'n glimlag op sy gesig. Selfs toe hy daar op die stadium hou tussen die bene gekry het, die man nie op 'n smile nie. So dis lekker om te sien.
No, it's fantastic. And Hennie, thanks for having us here in Paarl. It's always great to come out here. The result didn't go our way. I think they clawed back a little bit in the end, but you saw today sometimes an expensive game. If you're listening, Alistair Kutsia and everybody else out there is talking expensive games, can sometimes cost you. But Hennie, I'm going to go one of those fantastic Burry rolls, and it's school sport what they're doing. I just want to point out, keep watching, it's fantastic.
Aan almal wat kyk van ver af, dit is vir ons 'n groot voorreg om hierdie wedstryd veral na al die oud studente toe, beide aan Boys High en Bishop se kant. En is lekker om die vriendskap tussen die seunskole verder uit te bou. Baie dankie vir al die ondersteuning by hierdie skole rugby. Jy weet al die geld wat gaan deur die verkoop van hotdogs en 'n koffietjie hier, help weer vir die opvoeding van ons kinders. Van my, Hennie, Warnich en Hilton Houghton hier van Brugstraat in die Paarl wens ons 'n baie lekker middag toe. Tot volgende keer. Totsiens.
Totsiens.